Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel, Africent with BT, where we are all about good energy and all the sentiments that come with living in the diaspora. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, please hit the like button and share it with a friend. We try to be informative here and share all the good stuff that hopefully can empower you to be the best you in the diaspora. My name is Beatrice. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a nurse by profession, and many of my YouTube channels will be talking about my profession and why I love it so much, and why I hope more people, more young people, all people of walks of life will join, because we still need many good nurses. So this video is about how to convert your foreign degree, nursing degree, to the American, to be able to practice in America. So I'm originally from Uganda, and these days I always say I never know how to answer that question, because I've been from Uganda to the East Coast, then to the West Coast, and we shall do a video about endorsement. If you have a license from another state, how are you able to translate it so you can be able to practice in another state? So today it's about how to convert your foreign degree. I went to school in Uganda, Makerere University, and I'm so grateful for the men and women who educate in Makerere University, especially Madame Ovi, my mentor. She has been my personal mentor. Madame Babali, the author of our bachelor's degree in Makerere University. So that being said, I know that many parents do come get their citizenship and then apply for their children to come over, and sometimes there's that decision. My child is already at university. Should they finish fast and then come? Should they just jump ship and come? If you've just started uni, maybe you can decide to jump ship and just come and join a college here and just continue with the education here. But if you're almost done, my advice, no matter what degree you're doing, my advice is go ahead and complete your degree, your bachelor's degree, because and this is, I'll interview a couple of people on this channel that have done completely different degrees. I have a friend of mine, one of my mentees. She was an economist. She did economics in Uganda, bachelor's, came here, did a master's in business administration, still in economics, that line, and then she ends up turning into nursing. So we do have an option where you can do an accelerated program as long as you have any degree. I have friends who have been computer scientists. I have a friend who was a psychologist initially for her undergrad and then converted her degree, then did the accelerated program to nursing. So we'll do a couple of those interviews so that you can listen to how these people really journeyed through and which universities in the United States are out there that do offer the accelerated program. But this YouTube channel is about converting your degree. So yes, I did go to Makerere University, and I do have a dual degree, nursing and midwifery, and every country kind of trains based on their need. So in Uganda, because we don't have the luxury of many people joining, the education pyramid, like I've always said, is in a triangle. Unfortunately, as we go higher and higher in education, fewer and fewer people go to school. So they have to educate with that mindset. And so they teach you everything, really prepare you. And so you do 4 years of high school, and then you do 2 years of A-levels, which would have kind of been like an associate here, because I personally did physics, chemistry, biology, and food science, nutrition. But so 2 years, and then you go do your 4 years of nursing and a year of clinical studies. In America, you just do your 4 years of high school, and then you go to college and do your 4 years. A 4-year college, do your 4 years of nursing. So it's quite different. So if you're in Uganda, and if you're a parent and if you're in Uganda and your parents are deciding for you that you should be moving, my advice is, if you're in your final year, complete that degree. And if you come here and you choose to go into nursing, you can watch this video and about how to do the accelerated program with your degree. But say you've gone to your accredited university in your country, because sometimes some countries don't have small schools, but they're not accredited by their national education board of education, right? Ministry of Education in Uganda. So make sure that your university is accredited by Ministry of Education. At least in Uganda, almost all I want to say almost all, because I can't be so certain, are accredited by the Ministry of Education. So what I did when I came here, I applied. So there's an organization. I had to get an organization that evaluates, an organization called CGFNS. So there's a couple out there, but what I used was CGFNS, and there's a link below that you can click and see updated information, because it's been a very, very long time since I went through this process. But what they do is you submit your transcript, and you pay a fee, fill out an application, submit your transcript, but also they will send an application, a part of the application, to the school where you went, and then another part will be sent to the nursing licensing board where you went to school. So like I went to Uganda, I went to Makerere University, so I had to pay a fee. By then it was 400 something. I don't remember how much it was, but check on the website and see what they say, and call. They're really good. They can explain everything to you. So pay the fee, fill in the application, your part, and then Makerere University, my Department of Nursing, had to fill out a certain part breaking down the different course units we did: pharmacology, physiology, pathophysiology, how many hours of each that we did. And then what the CGFNS does is just to weigh if the hours that you took studying add up to a bachelor's degree here, so they kind of evaluate that. And then your transcript, of course, Makerere University, not just like, because our department did that breakdown, but also they needed an certified transcript from my university to be mailed together with that part of the form to them. And then they also needed my nursing license to fill out a certain portion, and kind of sign and stamp and seal and send it to CGFNS. So once everybody was done, I was done, my school was done, the nursing board, midwifery nursing, Uganda Midwifery Nursing and Midwifery Association was done. They sent everything to CGFNS, which evaluated and said, yes, your bachelor's is good enough as a bachelor's in the United States. You can go ahead and apply to sit for your NCLEX. So I reached out to another organization called Professional Credential Services. They do have different like professions that they help. So I asked for the nursing department, and they got me in touch with somebody who I coordinated with via email, and they mailed me a package that kind of it's an application to the nursing board. And I was initially licensed in Massachusetts, and now I live in California, so I had to endorse that license from Massachusetts to California. We'll talk about that another video. So once they were done saying, yes, everything looks good, go ahead, I reached out to Professional Credential Services. They sent me a package, guided me on how to fill it out per the state of Massachusetts requirements. And so Professional Credential Services, they did send me a package that gave me guidance on how to fill out my form. When you are filling out, you have to be really careful what state you shared, because if you shared the wrong one, it might cost you $400 or more, because I don't know how much it costs now to change to the state that you want to practice in. So I was already living in Massachusetts, and I had a community that was a part of there, and that's where I wanted to be licensed. So I did share the right one. And so it's funny, so this whole process of converting your foreign degree, you kind of have to do everything simultaneously. Like you apply the CGFNS, Professional Credential Services, you touch base with them, you start having a conversation so that you know what you're doing, but then they can't do anything until the CGNFS process is done. But all this time, this process can take to about 3 to 6 months, depending on how fast all the different entities go, because you have your university where you went to school, you have your licensing board in your foreign the country that's outside the United States, and then you have the CGFNS, like they also have their timelines. So while all these people are doing their thing, you want to be studying for your NCLEX. Don't just sit and wait. You want to be studying, and maybe if you're able to work any small job, just do it, because everything costs money. Everything costs money, and you need to be able to pay for all these processes. But most of all, study while you're doing all these things. So once you're done with that professional credential service package that they've sent you, and you filled it out, you've applied to sit for the exam in the state of Massachusetts, then the nursing board in the state that you're applying to, in my case, state of Massachusetts, send me permission to sit for the NCLEX. So CGFNS says, yes, your credentials weigh and match what America requires. And then Professional Credentials says, okay, yeah, this is all the information you need to apply. And then the nursing board of your state, mine, Massachusetts, then says, okay, we give you permission to sit for the exam. Once that is done, then there's a center for examinations. Like, my goodness, like, mind you, I went to a school. I went to Uganda. Uganda is a developing country. We do paper-based exams, right? We literally had maybe 6 computers in medical school, which we had to line up for and get that coupon every 15 minutes. And it runs out and it's somebody else's turn. I don't know if you guys have more computer desk laptops and all that, but when we were going to school, and that was good for us, because when we were in high school, Gaza High School did have computers, but not all high schools do. So part of what you're doing is that preparation, like sitting for an exam electronically. It's different. It's been over 11 years. It's different. People are more electronic savvy, but then that can in itself be a challenge, preparing to sit for an exam on a screen as opposed to paper-based, right? So prepare, and we can talk about that in another video, how to prepare for your NCLEX. So once the Board of Nursing in your state says yes, take permission, then you go to Pearson VUE. So Pearson VUE, and this is why I ranted about all that computer stuff, is because Pearson VUE is just a space where everybody is sitting for a different kind of exam. Some people are doing IELTS, TOEFL, NCLEX, the LPN version of NCLEX, or LVN version of NCLEX. Everybody is doing their own exam, but you're all in this space. So there's different centers next to your house. So I lived in Waltham by then, and there was a center close to my house. So I looked for a center that was close to my house, and I chose a date. I said, you know what, I think I'll be ready in a month. I don't know if it was a month or 2 months, but where I felt like, okay, I've been studying. Now I'll be ready by this date. And if I'm not, oh well, I'm going. And I said my prayers, and so I set that date, because that costs money too. So make sure you look out and see the fees, and pay your fees and be ready. So I just studied, and when the date came, I just had to do also the other thing that's part of your application is your English proficiency. So I had done IELTS before I came to the United States, so that was still valid. But I had also done TOEFL. I did IELTS and TOEFL. I don't remember my timelines, but make sure you've done those, like your English proficiency tests, and there's a score that you have to meet, because it's an English-speaking country, so they want you to be able to be proficient when you're explaining to a patient, educating, because part of nursing is educating. They need you to be able to explain to your team, feedback, what has happened during your shift, and be able to understand. So that's really why the English exam is required, right? Because it's an English-speaking country. So fast forward to Pearson VUE. When I was ready, on that day, I just had my ID, and I went in. They give you paper and pencil and your station, and you go. And you do your exam, and good luck. I'm so grateful to God that I passed the first time. Sometimes, it might take 2 tries for some nurses, but you know what? You've got what it takes. So don't you be afraid. Prepare. If you're just freshly out of school, even better. And every nurse, whether they're educated in the United States or educated outside the United States, they have to sit for this exam. So don't even be afraid. If you can find a discussion group, sign up for a class, whatever it takes, or study on your own like I did, and just try, or a volunteer tutor like I am. Find people in your community who have done this and let them assist you, so you can be ready for your NCLEX, because once it comes, and it will find you ready. Trust me, and once you sit for it, you have an option either to wait. We used to wait a week or you could pay to be able to call and get your results 24 hours. Of course, I'm very impatient. That's a fruit of that spirit that I need patience to develop. So I paid for my extra fee to be able to find out on the phone, and I called, and thank God I passed the first time. Yeah, but I mean, the biggest challenge for me during the NCLEX was the fact that we have a lot of communicable diseases in developing countries like Uganda, and yet here we have many chronic diseases. So kind of that's one thing. And then the triaging, like I said, our education really educates us about everything, and then you're not given that whole part of triaging and saying, what do I delegate, what do I non-delegate. So there was that big part. And then the pharmacology, each country has its own, like, depending on their economy, like they have a list of medications that they go by, that they procure as a country. So America is a rich country, so there's all these kind of fancy drugs that are combined, so you see a lot of pharmacology that's different. And then mental health, like in Uganda, yes, we do mental health, but it's not emphasized because it's not a big need. We do come from big families where you always have an auntie, you always have a cousin, you always have a sister, a brother to talk to, and that kind of helps decompensate, and kind of the lifestyle is a little slower. So mental health is not emphasized. Fertility health, maternity health is really emphasized, because we have we had a 6.7 for every woman who is between 15 and 45 years old. I don't know what the statistic is right now, but so that part of nursing was really emphasized in that school system. So those are the things you kind of have to prepare for, but we'll talk about that another day, how to prepare for your NCLEX. But good luck. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'm more than happy to respond to these questions. If there's any changes, if I've missed out something and you have some value to add to this video, please don't hesitate to add to this video. If you know somebody who is on this journey of converting their nursing degree to the American system, please share this video with them. Thank you, BT. See you next time. Bye-bye.